Hello, loves. Congratulations to everyone who made it today. Welcome, welcome. If you don't know where you are, this is the Morning Ritual. We are doing this one Monday each month. My name is Andrea Luzon, Legacy Liberator. What is a legacy liberator? A legacy liberator is someone who stands for you connecting with yourself, deepening your life experience by going within. It's not about becoming something. It's not about being better. It's about remembering the true essence that you really are. So if you're here for that, if you're here for having more of that life, then I invite you to take a deep inhale with me right now. On your next in breath, just allow yourself to deeply inhale. Hold the breath at the top for just a moment. And then exhale out and maybe make some sound through your mouth. I like to shimmy because that feels really good for me. I like to just let everything drip off of me that's not working. So again, on your next in-breath, make it nice and deep. Inhaling up as big as you can expand, holding for a moment, and then allow yourself to exhale on your next out breath. Let something go. Maybe there's something inside of you that you've been hanging on to today. So I invite you to let it shift, let it drip off of you. So I am here facing you. For those of you who are in the recording space, thank you very much. You're right here. We're also streaming into the Awake, Free, Expansive community. And over here on my left, probably opposite for you, we have our Instagram family, and that's the Awakening Freedom Within channel. So thank you so much for being here. What we're creating here right now is really standing in time for our own reawakening. Perhaps you're already very well aware that you're on that journey. Maybe you already feel truly awake to your inner gloriousness, or maybe you're here today to get a little reminder. And so that's what I'm here for, reminding myself and being part of the change on this planet where we all get to remember. We all get to be awake, free, and expansive, living our greatest life, living our best life. So allow your eyelids to flutter closed for a moment. Just really, unless you're driving, for anyone watching from a distance, if you're driving, this is not that moment. Come back to the recording and have that experience. For those of us who are settled, maybe you're seated, maybe you're lying down, this is the moment to begin to notice your breath and soften your gaze. If you don't feel comfortable closing your eyes, that's okay. Just allow your eyelids to come down a little bit and just kind of let your gaze get a little bit hazy. Just be less focused on my face, be less focused on the screen. Just allow yourself to come into your full presence. Just breathing in and breathing out. Oftentimes our breath will elongate when we notice it. And this is the moment to begin sharing music with you. Give that a moment to come online. Make sure I'm sharing in all the places. It should be very soft at first. Very calming, very relaxing. I'm going to wave at Paula. Looks like Hazel Crizel. And then my friend Bill. Hello, everyone. I'm waving at you, sending you a message through Instagram. Thank you to Jewel, David, and Susan. I'll hop over to our Facebook community. Just saying hello to everyone and coming into this present moment. Noticing your breath, elongating the breath, truly being present here in this moment, this now moment. Your breath to in the body, allowing your breath to exit the body. So I'd love to explore a little bit of movement together. I welcome you, even while sitting, to place your hands on your hips. And at first, what we're going to do is move the chest. So I'd love to see you and witness you moving your chest to one side, like leaving your hips where they are, but shifting your shoulders to one side. Leaning forward, lifting your chin. Leaning to the other side with your shoulders. And then leaning back a little bit. And I've got a chair back, so I'm not leaning back too much. But we're creating a circle. So move your shoulders to one side. Lean forward. Shift to the other side with your shoulders. And then back. That can be straight or that can be leaning back. So now we're going to go the other direction. So start on the opposite shoulder side, leaning out. Now leaning forward towards the camera, towards your screen. Leaning to the other side where you first started, and then leaning back. Excuse my squeaky chair. Let's do that again. Lean to the side, lean forward, lean to the other side, and then lean back. So that right there is a bit of a heart opener and opening up the throat. So we'll do that one or two more times each side. So go back to the beginning, start on that first side. Lean forward, lean to the other side, and then straighten up. Lean to that first side, lean forward, lean to the other side, and then straighten up or lean back if you can. Allow yourself in this moment a nice deep inhale, and then blow out. And now we're going to circle to the opposite direction. Lean to one side, lean forward. Lean to that very first side and then lean back or straighten up. Leaning out, leaning forward, leaning to the side, and then straightening up. Beautiful. Let your hands hang at your sides for a moment. And I'd love for everyone to experience a bit of a shimmy. So you can either just shake your shoulders, or I like to squeeze my right and then my left butt cheeks while also kind of stomping into the floor a little bit, squeezing each thigh. So it's kind of almost like a Shakira belly dance move. So I'm, pushing right, left into the floor and just experiencing a little bit of shimmy. This one is really down in my hips and it's kind of traveling up through my body. And then we can explore the other way, which is allow your shoulders to shake. Like a nice chest shake. And whether you identify as a man or woman or something else on the spectrum, this is still a beautiful opener for your hip zones and your chest. This is a nice heart opener. And earlier, as we were rotating, we were opening up our expressive area, opening up the heart. And then when we shimmy like that, we're activating the lower chakras. So your root is coming alive. Your zone of safety is coming alive. And that hip, between your hips, men and women, this is your creative space, your zone of creativity and believing in your creativity. Up a little higher is your confidence, believing in yourself. So when we do these movements, participate, have some fun, have some play. So a little bit of another shimmy. And that is going to slow down our physical movement for today. Because the direction I'd love for us to go in today is really about self-compassion. It is really about, in particular today, there's an aspect of you that you believe is holding you back. Either someone from your history told you that this aspect was something that they didn't like or they didn't approve of, or you've had this inkling, maybe through external messaging, maybe through some awareness of your own, but there's an aspect of you that you've felt called to change in your life. Maybe you're seeking out a coach to support you in making that change. Maybe there's a group that you belong to that is supporting you and shifting this aspect of yourself. But regardless, most of us have 2 to 10 aspects of us that we would like to see shift in our life. And I'd love for you to narrow that down in this moment. Let one of them come to the forefront. And this is not a moment of shaming, but this is a moment of awareness. And we're going to be interacting with that aspect of you just a little bit. And if you've never heard the phrase aspect or way of being, I'll give you a few examples. Perhaps someone has told you that you are always late to things and that that's something that you need to change. Maybe someone has said that you're too sensitive. Perhaps someone has said that you're too loud, too quiet. Maybe you're impatient, or maybe you're a doormat and you let people walk on you. Whatever that aspect is. So these are the aspects of us. They can tend to show up as behaviors or ways of being. That's the phrase I like to use, is a way of being. So I'd love for you to connect with one of those that feels very present right now. Usually one will announce itself, some aspect of you that you've been feeling like, I need to be more da-da-da, or else it can be, I'm too da-da-da. So whatever that is, the thing that you're calling in, but especially an aspect you feel already applies to you and that you're feeling it gets to shift in your life in some way to enhance your work, to enhance your relationships, to enhance your self-love, something you've been calling to shift. So let's all take a breath. And I'd love for you to, if you're comfortable, allow your eyelids to close, or at least allow your gaze to soften. Noticing your breath and noticing this aspect of you. This aspect of you that you are feeling called to change in your life. This piece of you that maybe you have a story around, or maybe you've held some shame around. And that shame was most likely gifted to you, not necessarily coming from within. It was probably handed to you, shame around this particular aspect that lives in you. But begin to feel inside your body as you're taking deep breaths. But notice an area of your body that you might feel a bit more strongly in this moment. And maybe this part of your body is tied to this aspect you have felt called to change. So just notice where that is in your body and bring one of your hands as close as you can to that place. For me, it is my throat. So I'm going to have my hand close to this area during this exercise. If nothing is feeling present right now, it's okay to just place one hand on your heart. That's a great spot to focalize this energy, this aspect of you. So allow your hand to lay on your heart or nearest to the part inside of you that you feel a little twinge right now. So I'm placing my hand on my heart. And as you keep breathing nice and deep, noticing your breath, notice this place in your body right now that is connected to this aspect that you might have some shame around, or that you're feeling compelled to change about yourself. So now that your hand is in that place, I'd love for you to breathe. First of all, let's breathe some air and send that air into that area. Let's just breathe into that aspect that we're feeling maybe there's tightness, maybe there's a twinge, maybe there's shame because someone told you a story once that this part of you is not good, or this part of you is not celebrated, maybe not wanted, maybe something you need to tone down, you need to shift. So allow your breath to head to that area that feels connected to this aspect. So I'm taking a nice deep inhale. And also allow some space. Allow some space in that body part that is feeling the twinge. Breathe some space around that hot spot. And I'd love for you to visualize that a small hula hoop, a small circle of light, has come to that space along with your breath and is placing itself around this twinge, around this hot spot that you're having. So see that ring of light going around this place in your body. Breathe that air into that area. And now imagine little bits of light going from the ring to that hot spot, almost like how the sun has a nice, warm, calming, soothing energy. Imagine a crisp fall day, and when you move from the shadow into the sun, how that first feels. So imagine that gentle light, gentle warming light, moving into that area of your body that you're feeling this connection to this aspect of you that you're feeling called to change in your life. So that light is moving from the ring into that area of your body. And if you've chosen your heart today, this applies. So this ring of light is around your heart right now. And the light and your breath are moving into that space of your heart. So again, allow yourself to breathe nice and deep. And we're simply giving this aspect and the part of your body connected to it some space, some attention. Allow that light to begin to fill your body. It feels good. It feels calming. It feels relaxing. And let's allow you to communicate with this aspect of you that you felt called to change. And allow yourself to communicate to this aspect of you that it also has value. You have value. Although this part of you, this part of me has been shamed, you have value. You've gotten me to this point. Maybe you helped keep me alive. Maybe it was feistiness. Maybe it was playing small. Maybe it was being loud. Maybe it was bossiness. Let's just offer a little bit of gratitude in this moment. If your hand is still on that area of your body, if your hand is over your heart, allow some light to move between that body part and your hand. Feel the energy moving between that aspect and your hand. Your hand is offering reassurance, inclusiveness. Your hand is offering openness, wonder. Take another deep inhale on your next in-breath. Thank you, aspect, for all you have given me up to this point. Thank you for being alive in me. Thank you for keeping me alive. Thank you for helping me and being an assistant to me. And I want you to know that I am also the opposite of you. While in this human experience, I am all of it. If I have been weak, I am also strong. If I have been fearful, I am also courageous. If I have been loving, I have also been numb and void of love in some moments. If I have been loud, I have also been quiet. I am all of these things. I get to be all of these things. I get to be loud and quiet. I get to be courageous and afraid. I get to be light and dark. It all lives within me while I'm here in this body, on this earth, this giant rock moving through the galaxy, moving through space, connected to other rocks. Some emit light, some are dark. They're all amazing. They're all here to serve a purpose. I am here to serve a purpose. I'm here to be alive. I'm here to experience all of it. Breathe that in. Allow yourself a nice deep in-breath. Feeling yourself being all of it. Feeling that light move between the aspect in your body and your hand. If you're open to it, I'd love for you to bring both hands to your chest. Feel the air moving in and out of your body. Allow yourself a nice deep in-breath. Feel your hands lift. And exhale out with some sound right now. Let something stuck come unlocked. Let it drip off of you onto the floor. Let it shift off of you. Thank you. Offer gratitude right now in this moment. Thank you, lungs, for allowing me to breathe. Thank you, heart, for pounding inside my chest, for helping the blood move through my body, for keeping me alive, for helping me tune into all of it. The loud, the quiet, the hard, the soft, the gentle caresses, the opposite. Feeling all of it, feeling courageous, feeling afraid, feeling love bubbling out of you, and then sometimes feeling like, where am I? Where did I go? I'm feeling so numb right now. It's okay. It's okay. Breathing in, let yourself feel. If you're ready, this is a beautiful moment to bring your hands together. Just take a nice deep inhale, press your palms together. Feel your biceps activate, feel your palms pressing, feel your fingers pressing. Open your hands, close your hands. I love to create some friction between my palms by rubbing my hands up and down, opening my palms, feeling that electricity, feeling that light. By opening, by spreading your hands out and then bringing them back together, I often feel like an electricity just band of like rubber, like you're pushing against some kind of surface. I just really love that sensation. So again, turn that in towards your heart. Breathing in, breathing out. If you've been here before, you know to keep a journal and pen handy. And when you're ready, if you need to go grab one, that's okay. I'm going to open mine and flip to the next page. And some of you may not be watching this in the morning. Maybe you're watching a replay. Maybe you are in a different time zone and this is nighttime for you, or midday. But you can write on the top of your page, momentum ritual or morning ritual, depending on what's feeling juicy for you right now. I'm feeling very momentum-ish right now, so I'm going to write that on top. I love to write the date as well. Whatever the date is where you are, go ahead and write that on the top of your page. So since we're dialing into self-compassion today, since we're dialing into self-care, being here for ourselves so that we can be in connection and relationship with others, I'd love to start with the first question, which is the first question we started with today. What aspect of me do I feel called to change in my life? What aspect of me? For some of you, that's another way of saying aspect is a way of being, a pattern, a behavior, a thought. What aspect of me do I feel called to change? Okay, and we were doing our best to pick only one today. And so we had a process as we began to help us dial into what is that aspect that someone may have said you need to change about you, or what is something we've had an awareness of lately that we've been feeling called to change. So allow yourself to write down whatever came forward. Okay, question number 2. How has this aspect served me up until now? How has this aspect served me up until now? And what do I mean by that? So maybe being loud, getting big, perhaps that kept you feeling safe in some capacity. Because for you, getting louder was something that supported you in certain situations. And that being quiet, how am I trying to explain this? That being loud was the answer for you for a time being in keeping you going. And only you know exactly what role it played. But this is the moment to witness this aspect of you that perhaps you've had a story around. This is an opportunity for you to reframe and begin to witness how this aspect served you up until now. So go ahead and write about that. So I'm noticing that this aspect for me, there's a story around being too much, a story of being too loud or over the top. And as I'm journaling, I'm noticing we moved around a little bit when I was growing up. So I'm noticing that this volume, that this being big, it got me noticed, and it helped my self-confidence. It helped me get noticed when we were in new places, and it brought in people that wanted that vibe, that were attracted to the vibe of loud and being noticed. And that's the frequency I was giving off at that time of my life. And it supported me in making friends, it buoyed my confidence. So it played a role. Some people find that repelling. Loud, being boisterous, being big. Some people find that very not attractive. And do I want to spend my life catering to all humans with the full understanding that there's always going to be someone who finds us distasteful? And so do we put on a mask in front of every single person and constantly change our authenticity to please this person because they're okay with us being authentic, but then this person doesn't, we're getting a weird vibe from them, so we're going to feel them out and change. So do we want to keep living that way? So this is a moment to honor how this aspect that may have been shamed in the past has served you. So allow yourself to continue writing a few words about that. The third part of this exercise is to write down, I am grateful for this aspect of me. And for some of you, you might not be ready for this. This might be too much of a leap because there might be more work to do around this story that you have about this piece of you. And that's okay to not be ready. It's okay to go numb in this moment or lean in, be curious. Why am I feeling resistance to writing? I am grateful for this aspect of me. But to be curious about what's underneath that. Why can you not be in gratitude for being all of it, the shadow and the light? So you're writing, I am grateful for this aspect of me. And what is the opposite of the aspect of this aspect that I am also? Okay, what is the opposite of this aspect? Question mark. I am that also. What is the opposite of this aspect? I am that also. You get to write that down. So for the third portion, we've written down, I am grateful for this aspect of me. What is the opposite of this aspect? Question mark. I am that also. Period. So perhaps you started out this whole exercise of beginning with a wanting, like a desire, like I want to be rich. Maybe it was rich. And then maybe you connected with where does richness live in your body? Abundance. And so if you are abundant, then you are also the opposite. That lives in you also, scarcity. So we get to, you've all seen the yin and yang symbol. And if you haven't, imagine like a comma that is a circle with a tail kind of on the side. And if it's all white, if it's filled in all white, right in the center of the circle, there's a black dot. And then in opposite, there is a black circle with a black tail. So they're interwoven. And there's a white dot in the middle. And what I love about that, what I love about the yin and yang symbol is that it's really showing us that even in complete peace, there is always a dot of chaos. Even in complete courage, there's a dot of fear. There's always a dot of fear. And if you ask, Navy SEALs or people who race into battle, anything that involves great risk, it has great vulnerability. There is some with a lace of fear, public speaking or starting a company or birthing a child, starting a new relationship. All of this, there's so much of one thing, and there's always risk. There's always risk. There's always the dot of the opposite in the everything. There's a dot of the opposite. So that's what we've gotten to walk through together today. And so I hope that you can see that you are all of it. And I'm writing down that if there has been a shame story around too much or too loud or too big, then I also get to see how I am also quiet and small, self-reflective. Yeah, just little. We get to be all of it, and we get to love all aspects of ourselves, which is so challenging. If you've been raised in a household or if you've moved out into the world since then, there's so much messaging coming from so many directions telling us who we're supposed to be. And those often really support the stories that we've had around how we're too much of one thing. There's pieces of us that we need to change, that we need to shift. So I love ending with journaling. We've explored movement today. We've had a guided visualization today and really explored self-healing. And then to finalize the imprint, to really ground into the full potential, we then moved into journaling. So I trust that this served you, because this is the download that came in for this in the last 48 hours. It was just like, it gets to be self-compassion today. It really gets to be that it's so hard to be truly compassionate out in the world when the self-beat-up is going, is churning, and the voice, instead of it being an inner protector that's talking, the voice in our heads, it can often be the inner critic. And the volume, I love the imagine one radio dial inside of you, and you can tune it to K-Love, like KFGI, but it's like K-Love, and then the opposite is K-Fear. And so today what we got to practice is like tuning that dial to the frequency of love, tuning the frequency to self-compassion. And this builds your muscle for greater self-love, greater self-trust, and that in turn creates self-choice. Then we begin going out into the world and making choices from a place of self-love and self-trust. They become self-choice. So my name is Andrea Luzon, Legacy Liberator. Thank you to the Instagram family. Thank you to my Facebook family. And for those of you in the intimate recording space with me, if you would like that Zoom link for next time, I invite you to either message me and I'll get that to you, or join our Facebook community, which is the Awake, Free, Expansive community. Expansive, not expensive. So again, I'm Andrea Luzon. This has been the Momentum Ritual, which is happening on the first Monday of every month, our Monday morning ritual. So thank you all so much for being here. For those of us in the recording space, we're going to hang out and chat a little bit and dive a little deeper and explore together. So I invite you here next time. If you have the Zoom link, jump over and chat with us. So much love. Mwah, mwah. Thank you.